Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the first day of spring. It's a beautiful day in Cape Town. If you happen to be listening in from anywhere else, I hope you've got a beautiful day as what we have here. So, welcome to the Carnival Worldwide. I'm your host, as always, Dominic. Thank you for tuning in. So, as mentioned yesterday, this is something new that I'm trying. It's a lot more simplified, but with the aim of getting out there, engaging, reaching out, and mostly because of what I've seen and experienced over the last 3 years, some of which wasn't really very enjoyable. And that's what it's all about. It's supposed to be enjoyable, whatever we do. Not just this motorsport initiative, as some may see it, which actually has nothing to do with motorsport at its core. Before I get into all of that, I just want to send a reminder out again. Time is running out. If you have been subscribed to the channel, please register your subscription if you choose. And for that, you will get a nice fat VIP code, which doesn't appear to be much right now, but I can guarantee you it will become very relevant down the line. I've sent, for those that I could allocate the VIP codes to, for those 270, 280 that I could see who were subscribed, and for those who contacted me over the years and said, hey, I'm subscribed. The VIP status is very much a thank you. I didn't really realize the monetization aspect of this. It was brought to my attention by a subscriber. And I'm very sure that same subscriber suggested I go to TikTok. Me 10 if you're listening. That's all appreciated. This was never about money, and I probably am going to say that till the day I die, because there are always going to be skeptics. And, at the end of the day, this was my choice. What's the word that's good to use here? I offered to do this. No one asked me. No one suggested initially do this. It was something that I thought, hey, you know what? This could actually reach a lot more people than what I intended. Even though, in hindsight, YouTube is global, it's worldwide, I never really thought about it in such detail. For me, it was just, as I keep saying, a means to share what I was trying to do for us as racers. Racing seems to have lost its way. Some may agree with me, and you are more than welcome to agree, and some may disagree, and you are more than welcome to disagree. I don't see racing. On the odd occasion I have, and on those occasions I've said that in my life. Now that's a race. It seems to be lost on a lot of people, and that's unfortunate. But we'll get there. We'll get there, and perhaps I need to start in my own hometown. That's kind of where it should have started. I just didn't expect to end up finding myself aligned with people in other provinces, finding myself easy to communicate with people in other provinces, finding myself being accepted by people in other provinces. No BS, no naargheid, no, you said you're going to do this, when is it happening? Like it's going to happen overnight. That's unfortunate. My fellow Cape Townians, some of them are like that, and that's fine. I don't really take note. It's in the back of my mind. I just remember to ignore all of you. And to those who are genuinely in support, Thank you. It's first day of September. It's spring and unusual for Cape Town. It's a beautiful sunny day on a Sunday. And we're just out here enjoying the weather, enjoying the sounds, enjoying the sights. And that's what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to try and get out in the communities a lot more. I mean, part of what set me off on this whole crusade, if you will, was going to a ward meeting in Steenberg where I grew up. And, seeing kids on the road at 10:30, 11 p.m. at night. And hearing and seeing their reaction to me firing up my car. And while I'm not able to give them what it is that they want in terms of a performance, some hooliganism, if you want to call it that, I tried my best, and the appreciation was insane. Perhaps there's a few things that we need to iron out. We rough around the edges, especially in areas where there have been no opportunities. I still don't see anyone that's really benefited from our 30 years of democracy. And this matter gets political. You're going to get complete idiots and morons saying, we must stop blaming the government. It's those same people that probably say, I don't want to get involved with the politics. And that's really sad. I mean, I note you on my phone as omission, so I just know to ignore you and the many like you. The fact is, our country is governed by government. Yes, one that we voted for, but one that's disappointed us to no end at every angle, irrespective of the party, all of them. So now we've got one that's, got this brilliant idea to make spinning well known globally. Put South Africa and spinners on the map, and I salute you for that enthusiasm. Your intention may be good. Let's just hope your execution is good. Let's hope there's a plan. Like with drags. What's been the plan? We're gonna run a national competition, and the winner gets what? Some cash, great. The title, great. But what are we going to do after that? Are we going to fly these individuals around the world? Ship them off to a neighboring country to compete? Are there other countries that have, the same programs in place? Can we have a drag Olympics? Did anyone think of that? I doubt it. And if they haven't communicated it because they want to keep it to themselves. That's not really fair. That's not fair on any of us, because how do we prepare for that? So I know some of you are listening, the culprits. And I sincerely hope, as they say in Cape Town, that you come right. Because you're benefiting no one through your actions, wherever you may be. KZN, Joburg, Gauteng, Free State, Northern Cape, Eastern Cape, Western Cape, you know who you are. And if people don't know who you are, they're going to get to know who you are. I guarantee you that from my side. I don't make threats, I make promises. And I deliver on my promises. That's all I can say. So, kudos to Gayton. Your spinning initiative. Care of one entity, I suppose, in this province, and a separate entity, I suppose, in another province. And I sincerely hope all of the spinning entities are working together. That's all I can hope. I mean, it looks to me like it's going to go down the same road that drags has gone, because there's all these silos of groups of people or individuals that, I don't know, they say they're not in it for the money, but everything they do just seems to point to money. I mean, I can walk away today. My life is no different to what it was in general before I started this initiative. I was enjoying every day. I was enjoying the cause wherever I may find myself. I mean, some of you have seen the snippets of video that I've posted on my status as I drive around the country. I thoroughly enjoy that, but I've been doing that for years, long before this initiative came along. Everything that I've been doing for years. It's just never been public. I've never been a public figure. Not that that should change me. I'm still the douchebag that you know if you get on my wrong side. Doesn't matter who you are. You can ask anyone that. And I mean anyone. So, before I kind of delve into other things, and this is very much off the cuff, it's not scripted, it's just what's on my mind. And hopefully it's relevant to racing, and somehow everything is. Everything is, political or not. And if we're going to shy away from politics, then we're just going to be doing ourselves a disservice. And that's a real shame, I mean, I kind of touched on it yesterday. If nobody wants to help me, that's fine by me. I didn't ask for your help. I took all the money I had and pumped it into this. And some of you may know the figure. And that's irrelevant to me because I would have spent that money on race fuel and race cars anyway. Where would it have been? Burnt away, gone, with a smile on my face. This way I can honestly say there's been a smile on thousands of faces. And I can say, without trying to raise my own profile, I can say I'm proud of what I've done. Even the hiccups, which are all there. I mean, I don't post my successes and hide my failures. My failures are there on the channel. I don't make mistakes. I do wrong. But I learn from that. And I don't make a mistake. And hopefully I do better. That's all I can hope for. I can't claim to be an angel, and I never have. I'm most certainly not an example of an angel. Even though my name may be saintly, I don't consider myself a saint. And perhaps that keeps me grounded. Perhaps that keeps me focused. And perhaps that's the reason why I don't tolerate people's BS. I kind of see this trend, and it's not just in motorsport, it's everywhere. People don't want to deal with you and they ignore you. But not from a position of merit. They know they are in the wrong. And there is nowhere to hide, especially if I've come across you or you are on my radar. Believe you me, I will go so far as to have records stripped from those who are not deserving of records. I will hold any and all associations liable. You must understand one thing about our country. Our constitution is so... liberal is probably a bad word. It's so accepting of everyone. Even though I may not be. Let me get that straight. I may not be accepting of everyone. I'm human. I have a certain subset of character traits. And I'm not going to be apologetic for that. Especially if you get on my wrong side or try and do wrong by me. And that's probably going to be a recurring theme because people need to get it into their heads. If you're not here to help, step aside. Sit down. Go and find somewhere else to keep you busy and let the grown-ups talk. And you'll be surprised how many of the younger generation are more mature than my own generation and those older than myself. I find myself so often correcting people and saying, you know what? You can learn to be a little bit more grateful, thankful And I even had to do that this morning, which is a shame. But it's really sad to me that people want to raise their profiles and then a handful benefit and the balance see no value in what is happening. I mean, I'm going to touch on a few things, and if it upsets anyone, it upsets you. You have to deal with it. But when I started this specific idea or concept of, let's host events. There's 19,000 kilometers of road in the Western Cape. Our dear Mako member for safety and security, if he is still in that role, JP Smith said. Not that we can use all 19,000 to race on, but I'm sure there are 1 kilometer straights for quarter mile and 2 kilometer straights for half mile, and 4 kilometer straights for full mile racing. And I approached select few of individuals, and it's all going to come out. That's all I'm going to say. And no one ever really offered help. Yeah, no, Dom, let's chat. If you need my help, let me know. Contact them. And it's just speaking in circles. Yeah, it's a tough thing. I don't want to know about the tough things. If it's not tough, it's not worth doing. Let's focus on what can be done. I think I said that recently as well in the Cape Town drag group. I'm not interested in those that don't want to. I'm interested in those that do. We're wasting time because people don't want to, but there could be 5 that want to. And we start with a 5. That's what I believe. Start somewhere. Don't sit and complain about why it can't be done and how difficult it is. Start. Struggle. Improve. It's that simple. Put some thought into it. Famously, an idiot told me a year ago, more than a year ago, we don't think here, we do. What a moron. His time is coming as well. Soon. These are examples of people that try and do wrong by me, or they try and, sway me off course, or they try and put me off. I don't know what your point or your purpose is. You're just wasting your own time. If I come up with a concept, I've already done the legwork. Then I just need to prove the value. I've said that over and over, especially about this. And I've proven the value of this. But where to from here? That's the thing. Well, I've been trying to get the subscribers who are on my channel to register their subscription for most of 2 years now. And as some of you may have seen, 1 October, I'm calling it. Whoever I can't or have not noted for VIP code, I'm going to be giving that away. And it's going to be the remainder of the first 2,000. Now, some of you may know, some of you may not. This channel and all channels need approximately 4,000 hours, I think it is. And it needs 1,000 subscribers to be able to be monetized. That's the information that was conveyed to me in summary. Quite higher than that, actually. In 2022. And that's when I was like, okay, well, then, the channel could subsidize the idea of this program. And this program is very much education driven, education at the core. And if you have been with me for a good couple of years, you'll know that when I say that, I mean education on every level. Educating us as privileged public road users, pedestrians, cyclists, motorcyclists, law enforcement agencies, educating us to uplift ourselves and our communities. And I've always been on the case of I focus on what I'm passionate about. That's me. I don't like to waste my time on things that I don't enjoy doing. But it comes down to that. Enjoyment. The same for drag events, the same for any event or recreation. If it's enjoyable, people will come. And that's such a loaded statement to make, because you could enjoy the event, but you didn't enjoy the facilities. You could enjoy everything about it, but someone spoilt your day. There was an incident. And because of that, there's many aspects to eventing. I mean, most recently, a few guys, I wanted to just get involved with the guys wanting to organize a drag day to broadcast the day. To say, you know what, there's a lot of people that could enjoy or benefit from viewing this. Would you mind if I broadcast it so that 65 million South Africans can potentially watch it? Not everyone's in Cape Town. And that seems to be something that's lost on event organizers, promoters, track operators, track owners. But when you ask them, how many people do you expect? They don't know. No one ever has an answer. There's always a question to answer your question. Why do you want to know? Well, I'm trying to help you. If you don't want my help, cheers. Don't say I didn't try. That is why I do what I do, how I do it, and why I do it. Some of you are fortunate enough to get a second chance from me. Don't waste it. I mean, on these phases, there's so many for this project. And I've posted them on my channel so that you can see it, and it's open for everyone to view. I mean, I'm still stuck at phase 1, trying to reward everyone. And although these phases don't have to happen in order, it's ideal if they did, but I think in the real world they can happen alongside each other. But like I said, 1 October, I'm calling the deadline, and I'm giving these VIP codes away to whoever wants them. Maybe through a lucky draw, maybe through a surprise giveaway, maybe just a thank you because you've supported the channel in whichever way you have, and here's another code for you, for a family member. So, phase 2 really needs to sort of gain momentum, and that is going to be the viral push of this platform, and I suppose all the others. I mean, this YouTube platform has grown thanks to many who have shared it with their friends and family. Some have registered all of their devices in their household. Some log into their smart TVs in their place of work. Some are playing it in public spaces. That's something that I didn't realize was happening until mid-2022, where I saw pictures of the drags playing live in a lounge and everyone enjoying, people being unable to come because they looking after family members in hospital, but they are sharing in the enjoyment of the drags. And that's really what this is about. This isn't about me making money. I know how to make money. I've lost money, I've made it, I've lost it and made it over and over again. It's really something that does not affect or hinder or have any effect on my life. I can honestly survive with nothing but the air, the water, and the food that's necessary for me to live and sustain myself. And yes, I need energy to progress, and that comes in the form of heat, electricity, etc., etc. Fuel. But I'm a very simple person, and hopefully more people can start to live that way, because then there'll be more for a lot more people. Things have to benefit the majority, if not all. Otherwise, what is the point in doing it? I'll get stupid arguments from really stupid people. Yeah, but how can you say, it's not about money? Money is in everything. Yes, money is in everything. But if your priority is money, then you've got serious problems. And in case you haven't noticed, all those with a priority of money have failed dismally the last 3 years with their events. Failed miserably. Do I take joy in that? Of course I do. If your priority was money. Because it means your only purpose and your end goal is to line your pocket. That's all I see. I see NPOs, NGOs, public-based companies, public-based organizations, and the first thing out of their mouth is, when we get our funding, then we're going to do this. I've been funding and doing. Even this now, as simple as it is, this is costed by me. Because it all has a cost. Yes, fair. But, saying what you want to do and then the action of doing it, when that's in contradiction, then I get very worried. Yes, money is needed for a lot of things. But don't let that be your reason and you try and justify why you're doing it for the greater good when you actually aren't. I'm going to say this again. I can't recall there being any other development driver besides Ernest Page in the Western Cape. That was something I saw on Killarney's website, WPMC's website years ago. This development program. Who else has come from that program? Someone please enlighten me. Who else has come from that program? And in which discipline? There's a lot of people that will say, I built this from nothing, but you've had every opportunity to build something. There's hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people in this province alone that have absolutely no opportunity to build anything. And they don't. And it's most possibly down to education. Because there are others that manage to build things from nothing. Really and truly nothing. From a broken home to barely having a roof over their heads, to barely having food, and any kind of form of energy for them to progress, they build things. I consider myself very fortunate. I can't claim to have had nothing and built something. Everything I've built, yes, I've built myself. And it's through the support of many that it's grown as quickly as it has. I'm happy with 1,710 subscribers. Given what I've done, it shouldn't even be that number. And I'm going to thank Figo here, because I'm very sure it's Figo, or if it wasn't Figo, it was someone else that shared my channel when I explicitly asked not to, because I have a strategy. And I appreciate it. It's just out there, and I just needed to now say, instead of the first 1,000 guys, I'm going to reward the first 2,000. And if not Figo, if the next person, thank you to you, because it's one of those things that I haven't really kept track of. I've asked on the odd occasion, guys, please share. If you like, please subscribe. If you like, please give it a thumbs up. Because I personally get annoyed when you watch a live and you hear this person begging, please tap the screen, please like, please follow. I didn't come here for that. You know? And I mean, I've put this little animation in the bottom right hand side most recently, sort of mid last year. And it annoyed a few people. But I mean, what would you prefer? Would you prefer that, or would you prefer me shouting every 5 seconds, guys, please like, please subscribe? In tears. I don't know. I need to figure out how to make this viral. And I've done that before. You know, I think my original Facebook account is still banned because of that. And we did that, or I did that with Street to Strip. So I understand how to make something viral, how to go viral. I just haven't put it in motion yet. And there was various reasons for that. I mean, if you've tracked the channel from the beginning, you know how bad the first one was. Video and audio was out of sync. To this day, I don't know half of the terms because I'm not a content creator. I'm not a videographer. I'm not a professional photographer. Let me rather say that. This isn't even a hobby of mine, but it is a necessity to allow and afford more insight. And I could almost say I tolerate it because of that. I mean, I enjoy photography on a social level, on a personal level, for, you know, my own peace of mind. Videography is a totally different ballgame. It's a lot of work, and I don't mind work. That's not the issue. The thing is, am I passionate about it? I can do it. I mean, some of the videos I've released, you know, I'm even surprised by the quality and what I've been able to achieve, because I was like, well, I didn't know that I could do that. But I wouldn't have done it if I didn't want to put in the effort. And that's another aspect of, you know, with the problem I have with people in general. We want, but we aren't willing to do. We want sponsorship, but our car's sitting on jack stands. But we've got money for a case of beers the weekend. You know? Priorities are a bit wrong. I mean, are you doing this because you love this sport, or are you doing this for the accolades? What are your reasons? What is your end goal? If you're doing it for the enjoyment, then do it. I mean, there's so many people that I see posting, and I suppose I'm going to take offense to this as well. Tough tits. You know? Yeah, I want to enter that, I'm looking for a sponsor. Maybe if you look at your budget, take a hard look at reality and plan and make some changes and put in the effort. You might realize sponsorship. I could say the same of me. You know, what am I doing wrong? Am I not putting in the effort to garner funders? Well, I got funders last year, and they just ended up being complete arseholes once paperwork was signed. And I just said, well, you know what, thank you very much, here's your money back, have a nice life. You know, they missed the point. All they seemed to want was power and control. Well, that clearly means that there's value in this. I can see that. I've seen that from the very beginning. But you know, the proof of value is what really matters. Now, I mean, there's probably so many more stories that I haven't heard from some of you about how this channel's given you insight. And it's probably on par with the many that I have heard, and that's a good thing. That's something that, you know, track operators and owners don't all realize. because once again they're all just chasing money. So I mean, let me give you an example. If I were to organize an event at a track, that track is willing to give me a taking at the gate, or of the gate fee. Now I turn around and I say, well, instead of giving me the take, let's just offer it as a discount. Let's offer my portion as a discount. So the person at the gate benefits. The track still gets their money, what they've agreed to, whatever the difference of the portion is that I'm getting. The spectators get my portion as an immediate discount. And then in place of that, I can say, well, to get that discount, here's a code that you can read out. And I'll put someone there to verify that, and hopefully the track has someone there to verify what my person's doing, just for the sake of transparency. Because we don't want someone saying, oh, but it's 99 people you owe us for. It's not 101, and those kind of petty primary school matters. But I mean, people looked at me like, are you mad? But you're throwing away money. But it was never about money. I mean, this is going to become a recurring topic because it's such a heart-sear thing on everyone's hearts. Money. And that's really sad. But yeah, I mean, that's one idea. If you're willing to give me a gate taking, offer it to the spectators. Someone may pay it forward. They may phone a friend and say, hey, come down to the track. I'll sponsor you entry because I saved X amount. That's more feet in the gate. I mean, that's just one aspect, an expensive track entry fee. Let's bring up other issues. Toilets. I mean, how many people, and it's not just in Cape Town, everywhere I've gone, complaining about the toilets. I mean, come on guys, it's 2024. How is it that our priorities have not changed in all these years for the simplest of things that adds to enjoyment? Why am I having to raise these matters amongst grown-ass individuals older than myself who have been in the sport or in eventing for years? That's really pathetic. There are so many things to unpack about, so many issues at all the tracks around the country. And there are skeptics, there are track owners and operators that have been done in by. That's great. I've never dealt with you. How dare you think of me in the same manner? And it probably comes back to, money. Again. And then those same people, when I then go on the reaction to that is, well, then go screw yourself. Then they more heart sore about that. Yeah, you're so rude. I'm sorry. I wasn't the one who was told from the beginning, I've only ever come across snakes. I would think you might need to look a bit deeper then. Might just be, birds of a feather, or rather snakes of scales, if you will. But yeah, I mean, the program I have is so big, and I actually thank everyone that's been stealing my ideas without actually getting in touch and asking, because you've kind of done the homework for me. All these talk shows that have come up, and all the sudden concepts to record and stream or upload drags. Those concepts are suspiciously similar to what I suggested to those very people. Around about the same time that they suddenly did it. The sights and sounds. Hopefully we'll get more sights and sounds like this as I move around and do these kinds of pitcasts. This is pitcast number 3, I believe. Maybe I make it a weekly thing, maybe I make it a monthly thing. I don't know. I'll pop a poll up on my WhatsApp channel. You guys let me know. And you'll notice the chats are disabled and the comments are disabled because hardly anyone ever uses the comments. And I'll open those up as I think and feel it necessary. But you're more than welcome to send me a WhatsApp on 0662198349. All my contact details in the description. And let me know what your thoughts are. What there is that you'd like to discuss. Eventing is clearly a tough thing to do in South Africa, in any country, I imagine. But even more so in Cape Town with the challenges we have here, or the perceptions, or the way it's been, the way we've been culturally. Most recently, the poor outcome or poor attendance at Killarney because of the perception of weather, because of the temperature. And I find that so strange. Cold and dry is a racer's dream. And with that said, it's unfortunate what happened to, the driver of that Supra on Wednesday. But those were perfect conditions. I don't know. Something could have broken. It could be a lack of skill and ability. It could be anything. Could be over-eagerness for results. Could be anything. But we have a lot of things to figure out if we are going to take this sport and most any motorsport forward. So again, I'm really keen to see what our Minister of Sports and Recreation, or whatever it's called now, achieves and where to from there. I sincerely hope there's a plan after we crown a national champion of sorts, or whatever the plans are there. And I'm keen to see what his 100 days in office has been like. Let's hope he remembers to do something like that. When I met with City in 2021, it was literally me coming and saying, I don't know how any of this works. What are your expectations? Because what's on your website is clearly not what is going to be approved. And the back and forth is a waste of everyone's time. But if you so choose, people can continue to die on the roads. The only hold up here is the city of Cape Town for my initiative. I was looked at in that meeting like, oh, you can't race on the road. What did City of Cape Town do last year with Formula E? So, there's a lot of bullshit going on. Not just here, everywhere. I think I've seen most of it the last few years. On to phase 2. Try and viral push this channel from October. And then hopefully we can start promoting races, part of phase 3. And then, phase 4 I've kind of already started doing with the whole VIP codes and spectator and supporter incentives with lucky draws. Phase 5 racing or racer incentives. Phase 6 venue support and promotion. Phase 7 organizer and promoter support. Phase 8 merchandise, and phase 9 eventing. There's so much that I've been busy with, and it's a lot across the board. You don't hear me complaining about it. You hear me highlighting the arseholes that I'm having to deal with. But that's just so that I can get them in the limelight. And it's going to get a lot worse for them as time goes. But I don't know. Send me a message with what you think I should put in these broadcasts. I really don't want to script things. Maybe just take a topic and we run with it. But we really have a lot of work to do. And I said yesterday, we have to start with ourselves as well. Because we keep on complaining about this and that one, but amongst ourselves we're fighting about things that shouldn't even be fought about. It's a bit frustrating to see. And hopefully we can make a change there. Actually really do some positive, bold work on this sport and all the disciplines within this sport and others. I mean, it's never been an overnight thing. It was never going to be an overnight thing. And for all those thinking that it was, are you doing any better? What have you done? Except moan and complain and come up with excuses and then point the fingers. So what value have you added to your own existence and the existence of others? Probably nothing. I'm going to be very brutal. Trust me. Because that's just who I am. That's who I've always been. And I'm true to myself. I'm under no illusion about who I am. And if you are genuinely here to help and support, then please do. In whatever way that may be. I honestly do not want us to be funding this. I don't mind if it's me, because that was my choice. But you let me know what you think. My DMs are always open. And we see from there. And I'm going to give one final reminder. Guys, please, if you've been subscribed all this time to the YouTube channel, send me a screenshot showing you are subscribed. Not necessarily your list of subscriptions. Just open the channel and screenshot that. It should say subscribed. And hopefully you have an idea of when you subscribed. I mean, I've handed out only about 300 VIP codes. There's 1,400 to go. In total, 1,700 to go. But yeah. And let me know as well, what do you think? Should I have this weekly, monthly, fortnightly? You decide. Let me know. It really is a beautiful day. Have a good day, guys. I'll see you on the socials.